How's it going, YouTube? Prisco TCG here, coming at you with another deck profile, except this time it's not my own. A friend of mine who I met at my locals the other day got 8th place at a 39-man locals last night, where I was also playing. I got 11th place. If you want to see that deck profile, I already posted on the channel the other day. Make sure you go check that out. Link will be up in the corner. I think it's on that side. Anyways, we're currently live on Twitch, and I've got him here in a Discord call with me. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hey, my name is Jonathan. I've just recently got back into Yu-Gi-Oh! Built this deck, and it's been a ton of fun.
All right, cool. And I gotta tell you guys, it's very spicy. So we're gonna go ahead and switch scenes here, and I'll give you full reign to show everything off.
All right. So that's good. So it's Live Twin Dogmatica with a DP engine. It's 60 cards. So we start with the Live Twin engine. You need 3 of each of these. Any less is criminal, especially in a 60 card deck.
I agree.
I play 1 of each extender. You don't want to open these at all, so you can only really afford to play 1. A lot of the 40 card lists are on 2 of this, which is it's better in a 40 card list to play 2 of this because you're going to open more of all of these pieces in general. But in this list, you're just trying to open 1 of these.
Okay.
And no other pieces really. You only want one of the Live Twin pieces, and then you do play this because of Trouble Sunny's secondary effect. The one that when it's in the graveyard, you don't have to control an Evil Twin. You can send from your deck to send anything on your opponent's side of the field, and it doesn't target either to the graveyard. So if you don't play this in your deck, you have to have a field presence to use Trouble Sunnies, but because I play Nadir Servant as well, which you'll see later, you can actually send Trouble Sunny and straight up get the untargetable sending to the graveyard effect whenever you need to pop anybody. And that's the first monster core.
Okay, cool.
Next monsters, you got the Dogmatic package. Played 2 Ecclesia. I play the 3rd in the sideboard for when I'm going first because it's very good going first, but I just played 2 going second.
Okay.
And then I play the Maximus.
Yep.
And the full release. And now I do want to bring something up with the Maximus here.
I was actually just about to mention, I remember you telling me something about Maximus and like what it's capable of doing.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'll go through my quick Maximus package.
Sure.
Here in the extra deck because it's very strong. So you have the one, and pretty much everyone knows about that. It's very strong. And then of course Trouble Sunny herself. I played 2 Trouble Sunnies. Sometimes I float to 3 if I cut access to a talker because you do send it quite a lot with Maximus or whatever, just so you can send this Evil Twin and get the untargetable send. But the real spice in this list I found is the Predaplant Chimera Rafflesia. So this can search a fusion spell, so I use it to search Fusion Destiny, get my DPE engine offline the next turn, and I also, if I open a Deer Servant, this is the best thing, I can go Ferrigite, and this will get rid of whatever dead draw I have in my hand. So this deck has a few dead draws. You know, you run both the DPE pieces. So these guys, I play Plasma instead of Dasher. I like it in this deck.
I think it's pretty good in that deck, to be honest.
On the board. So a lot of times when the turn gets passed back to me, I'll have both the blue and the red Evil Twin on the board and some other random monster. So Plasma actually just comes out and steals games. Yeah. That's why I add it. But either way, I want to put them on the bottom of the deck if I draw them. So Ferrigite does that. And so if you go Nadir Servant Ferrigite, Maximus, Banish Ferrigite, you can send Rafflesia and Shireg. So Rafflesia searches your Destiny Fusion, and then Shireg searches your DD Crow to answer your opponent's Phoenix Enforcer. So this actually came up 5 out of 6 of the matches. The only game it didn't come up against was Floundries, and that's because that deck doesn't care about the graveyard. They actively avoid the graveyard constantly. Yeah. So obviously gets cut out against that, but literally every other matchup, this card's insane. You want to see it, and so the fact that you can tutor it with 1 Nadir Servant is just nuts. And you also get your DPE online. So you answer theirs and get yours online at the same time. It's just an absolutely obscene package. And it overperformed pretty much throughout the whole tournament. I threw it in right before because I wanted to answer DPE and I wanted better answers. I wanted a tutorable answer, and it worked really, really well. Yeah,
so when you initially told me about this entire package, I lost it because I was just like, yo, this is insanely smart. Like, chat, when I tell you guys this man had the Omega 5 head, like, big brain plays in mind, it's just crazy how smart this was. So, okay, And we can continue moving forward. I just want to tell people like how nuts that is.
Yeah, I mean, it was nuts all day. It was definitely way better than I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be good, but I mean, DD Pro is actually just insane. It felt better than a lot of other hand traps.
Yeah.
For me, a lot better. So I was maining two Nibiru. I was worried, like, combo decks in general. Although there was really a heavy presence of Invoke, so I'm probably going to cut these from the main. That's just local metagame stuff. Though, know your local metagame.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what people are playing. If Nibiru is good in your locals, then you can definitely keep it because it's nuts in Live Twin. Because you can go Chain Link 1, Tribute Trouble Sunny, Chain Link 2 Nibiru, and then you'll still get your draw and leave both your Evil Twins out, and then you can pop their Nibiru token immediately with the other Evil Twin.
Yep.
So you get 3 bodies and the draw and blow up your opponent's board. Very good in this deck.
Yeah.
Opponent's actually coming off. And then I play 1 effect filler main. I play 2 others on the sideboard. So this is a go second deck as well. I haven't mentioned that yet, but you'll see very quickly when I get to the spells and traps. And I wanted a few cards that are good going second and first because my sideboard is a smoke screen package. I side in all 15, I shuffle them in, and then I pick out 15. My opponent doesn't know if I'm going to be going first or second prepared, so they kind of have to guess. And if they guess wrong, they're going to lose really hard.
Makes sense. I guess it's a good thing I traded you those effect failures then.
Yes, very helpful. And then 2 going second monsters.
Okay. 1
Dino Wrestler and 1 Alpha. I don't really think much needs to be said about either.
Yeah, those are pretty self-explanatory.
Yeah, they do their job. 1 of each is fine. I originally was on no Pankratops and 2 Alpha, but I really liked the Pankratops, the quick effect. It's the cards. There's a reason it took 1.
Yeah.
And then we'll move into traps. Of course, I play 1 punishment. You don't want a flood too much on this because you are going second deck. So I don't search it as often as I search, say, Maximus, or if I know my opponent doesn't have anything in their extra deck good, or the Fleur de Lis. That one is a really good card, and it's part of your OTK as well. And then I play for traps, first ones, 3 Infinite Imperm.
Yep.
It's just, the card's nuts. It's so good.
Card's really good.
Yeah, it's absolutely insane. 3 evenly. This card is, in my opinion, the best going second card in the game. It's just absolutely, the boards it breaks are unfair. And combined with, if you combine, the goal of this deck really is to get 1 Evil Twin monster and then or Live Twin monster and 4 interruptions / board breakers. So you kind of build 2 board breakers up, a Live Twin engine, start your combo going, and then some board breakers. So, and then the last 4 traps I play are the 3 strikes and then the 1 judgment that's main board. So these are some of the best cards to draw into. Unless you draw the OTK hand, which I will show at the end of the deck tutorial.
Okay.
You're gonna be grinding out after that, and Live Twins are very good at grinding out. They draw on your turn, they draw on your opponent's turn. This is some of the best cards to draw into. These just win games. You really shouldn't have to say much about strike. It's just one of the cards in the game.
Those are very, very well-known cards.
Yep. And then we'll move on to spells. So let me start with the Live Twin spells. So I play 3 Sunny Snitch, 3 Secret Password, and 1 Home.
Okay.
These all just tutor your Live Twins out. So as I said, this deck, you're trying to get the Live Twins going, but you don't want to see too many Live Twin pieces. In 40-card Live Twin decks, you'll draw 3 to 4 pieces a lot. Leads to awkward hands where you don't really do anything. And you only have 1 or 2 interruptions. So this is, again, 60 cards. So you want to draw 1 of these pieces or 2 of them in case your opponent has interaction or for the next turn's plays. And then moving on to more generic stuff, we have my 1 Pot of Desires. Main board, I have a second one. Sideboard, the one I want to dig more going first. Okay. And then double Prosperity. So
okay,
I like triple.
I was actually going to say, why the only 1 Desires?
So you don't cast Desires before you use DP, pretty much ever, even if you open it. It's fair. You really, DP is a huge part of this grind game because it combines with the Live Twin engine to give you a ridiculous grind game. On top of it, I mean, everyone knows what DP does at this point. It's all over your locals, cards nuts.
Yeah, exactly.
And so you don't want to play this first, and you cannot play more than 2 of these ever in a game because your extra deck is extremely important. And I almost never, ever, unless I need a specific card, ever banish 6. It's always banish 3 because the extra deck is so tight.
Yep.
There's lots of cards I want in this extra deck, so I can only afford 2. And I've even considered just cutting these for other cards, but they find you answers you need, so I will stick to them.
Yeah, I like them to dig for side deck cards as well. They come up a lot in a lot of the different decks that I play.
And then more going second cards. One of Mystic Mine. It wins games. It just steals games. So I play it as a one of. It's not my favorite card, but it is a wombo combo with some of my favorite cards, which is 3 Dark Ruler.
Yep.
There you go. That's full combo.
Yep. Makes sense.
But I like to combine these board breakers. So I play 1 Regeki, 3 Lightning Storm, and 3 Droplet. So
Insane.
I'm just trying to, with the 3 evenly matched, I'm just trying to build, 2 board breakers that answer almost everything in this format, and then go combo off with my Live Twin, my Dogmatica, get a bunch of card advantage, get DPE online.
Okay.
And, these cards are just the best go second cards in the format.
Makes sense.
And then, of course, we're on Triple Nadir Servant. This card is the best card in this deck. This card is insane. I came back into this game, read this card, and then read the extra deck cards that were being played, and I was like, oh my god, this card has got to go in all the decks. And then Triple Fusion Destiny, same with this card. If you're not playing DPE, what do you do in this format? You better be having a very good reason to not be playing DPE. And that, Try the Gate is a very good reason to not play DPE. That deck does very well without it, but there are very few reasons to not play the most insane grind game. And then, of course, Call by the Grave answers Sand Traps and answers DPE.
Yep. Makes sense.
And let me get into the extra deck here.
Sure.
So we have the Ferrigite, Shureg, Rafflesia, and Elder Entity. That's pretty much your core for the Dogmatica, which you use there. For Live Twins, let's see, we got 2 of the Lila, and then 2 Kill. You only need 2 of each in this deck. I almost never go through all of them. Because you win before that, or you just grind them out via other angles.
Makes sense.
You play 2 Trouble Sunny.
Okay.
Now you can cut the access code talker for the 3rd Trouble Sunny, and this is something I waffle back and forth on a lot. A lot of end boards, because of the way Trouble Sunny works, you end on this and they pass to you. And if they let you go to the main phase and you have access code talker, it just steals games. So that's why I have the access code talker, because you just get it for free off the resources. But the 3rd Trouble Sunny is more consistent. Overall, I feel it comes up more often because you are sending it to the grave off Nadirs to get its pop effect as well. And then we have the DPE. Critical.
Yep. Makes sense.
Mirage is mandatory in this deck, so you can still combo off. If they negate your interruption, you have Ecclesia. So you can go Mirage and then Sexual Ecclesia. Don't get the search, so it doesn't block you out of summons. And then you can go Verde Anaconda and make DPE.
Makes
so even
sense.
if your Live Twin play gets stopped, you still make an Anaconda even without a Live Twin extender, just a Dogmatic extender.
Okay.
And then the last card is Nightmare Unicorn. So the Live Twins do lock you into Fiends. So Unicorn is one of the best cards you can make when you get locked into Fiends off of special summoning off of these guys. So you can make a Unicorn, and then you can make Trouble Sunny off of Unicorn. And you can also, if you start the turn with these guys, normal summon anything, summon anything else. You make Unicorn here, and then you use red special blue. Then you can make Trouble Sunny off of these 2, and then use blue special red, and you end up with basically the same board you started with, just with an extra Trouble Sunny on top of it. So there's lots of cool interactions you can do with that. And then the reason this deck is good, in my opinion, I'll show you the OTK. So if you open any 2 board breakers or 3 or whatever, any 2 things like that, and then you blow up your opponent's interactions, their whole board. You open this and this, your opponent is dead. You do 10,500 damage, and you pop something along the way.
That's spice.
Yeah, so
Spicy.
let me go through here and I'll show you the extra deck. So why? So you make Trouble Sunny, and you special this, and you search out, find your Fleur-de-Lis.
Okay.
So this is 1 card Trouble Sunny. That's how Live Twins work. That's the whole shtick of the deck, is that they're a 1 card engine.
Yep.
It makes it very easy. And then this right here is 10,500 damage. These guys are 5,000. This is 3,300. You're already lethal that, and then this sacrifices itself to bring the other 2 back in combat phase. So a lot of times I break people's board, and then I just kill them that turn. It's very easy with this deck. If you open the Dogmatica, and it's just a 2-card combo.
Makes a lot of sense. It's absolutely beautiful.
And that's and then I can go through my sideboard if you would like.
Yeah, that would be interesting to see. And then if you don't mind, can you tell me what your matches were yesterday?
Yes, absolutely.
Sure.
So let me think about my matches. So I had the last one was Cyber Draken goes second.
Okay, so I can see how that could be a little challenging when you're playing a go second deck.
I think I'm the better. Like, even if I have dead cards in hand, the Live Twin Engine plus like a Solemn and like a hand
It's
trap
still
or
pretty
something,
good, yeah.
It's very, very, very strong. So I won that match pretty easily. Flunderies is a problem for this deck. A very big problem. It can be answered better in your sideboard, but my sideboard was not really equipped for Flunders, so I got rolled by Flunders.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Flunderies and Drytron is another bad matchup. I didn't face it, luckily, but Drytron is a very, very hard matchup because no matter what board you break, they still have Ava plus Heralds.
Yep.
So Drytron is very obnoxious to play against for this deck. That's probably the worst matchup in Flunderies, but I didn't face it. I faced Invoked, and then I faced Burning Abyss. Trying to think what else besides those were like the main. I think I faced 2 Invoked. I'm pretty sure I faced 2 Invoked.
Did you? You played against what's his name, Billy, right? He was playing the Despia deck. You played against him.
Play against the Despia deck. Yep. That was the last one.
Okay.
Yep, that was the last one. I just didn't remember it because it got stomped, so it wasn't really much of a game.
Yeah.
He made his board and I cleared it and killed him game 1, and then game 2 I sideboarded into my go first package and I destroyed him with multiple solos.
Makes sense. So like what was it? It was X2 or X1 after 6 rounds?
X2.
X2.
Yeah, I lost 2 Invoked in a very tight game 3. I didn't. So my sideboard isn't finished. I'm missing Anti-Spell Fragrance, and I had a Harpy's Feather Duster in my hand from my sideboard that if it was the anti-spell it was supposed to be, I would have hard won the game. He had 3 spells in hand.
Makes sense.
But I mean, I was stuck with bad card instead of a good card. But this is a bad card. Unless you're, even if you're going second, there's so many. As I saw in the main board, there's so many better going second cards in this deck.
Makes sense.
This should just be anti-spell. But
okay.
that's
so
neither here nor there.
I was gonna say, let's take a look at the side deck now, and then we can wrap up.
So here's what we're on. So we're on 2 more Solemns: the Imperial Order, the Cosmic Cyclone, another Punishment, another Ice Dragon's Prison, 2 more Effect Failures, 2 more engine pieces here for when I'm going first, and a 3rd Dogmatica as well, and the 2nd Pot of Desires. So when you're going first, I like to have the 2nd Home, the 2nd Frost, the 3rd Dogmatica, because you're just trying to see this. You're trying to open your engine pieces a lot more often when you're going first instead of breaking boards, so I just increase the ratio of that.
Makes sense.
And remove the board breakers. And then these cards are kind of bad. They should be anti-spells / another Ice Dragon's Prison, which
Makes
is the
sense.
Harpy Feather Dust, the Heavy Storm Duster, and the Compulsory, but I didn't have them, so that's just what I literally had in my binder that I was just kind of threw together. Never used any of them, really.
Okay. So that's pretty, I mean, it's a very interesting side deck. I remember you mentioning to me that you're just starting to get back into the game, right?
Yeah, this was my 2nd locals, and within my first 2 weeks of playing since I came back into the game from quitting. Cool.
And then, so the first time you went to locals was the Sunday when I met you, right? And then the 2nd locals was last night?
Yep.
Cool. All right, cool. So that's already insane that you're doing so well so quickly. But I do remember you mentioning that you played a lot in the past as well, and that you're like pretty high up there in DB rank.
Yeah, so my peak is rank 3 on the singles ranked leaderboard, and I've been in top 10 through 3 different formats.
Nice.
I want to break rank 3, but it's really hard up there in high elo.
I can only imagine.
Like minus 35, and everyone is like plus 10, so you got to keep on winning and winning and winning and winning and winning.
Yeah.
And I'm already back to about 1,000 LP. I float around 950 to 1050 with my live twin deck, which is around top 150 to top 50. I haven't really broken through the barrier yet. There's a lot of weird decks in Dueling Book and Hilo, and there's a lot of very annoying decks. Super Poly is very, very unfun to play against that. That also, I've been rolled by that quite a few times.
I can attest, Super Poly has broken my boards more times than it's broken my heart. So, with that being said, John, thank you so much for showing me the deck and showing it to everybody who's watching live. as well as everybody who's going to be watching this on YouTube. Any final words that you want to say before we end it?
Any final words?
Or any shout outs?
Shout out to you for hooking me up with the cards I needed to play the tournament. So I bought every card in this deck, and I forgot Trouble Sunnies. So I literally had no Trouble Sunnies trying to play a live twin deck.
Yeah.
And he came in super clutch for me.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that, man. And honestly, man, thank you for sharing the deck profile with me, man. I really appreciate it.
One last quick little thing I did want to shout out, actually. This is the best combo in the deck. This actually
yeah,
comes
sure. I'm down.
Super often. So Sunny Snitch searches your live twin. Your live twin, when it's played, if you control no other monsters, it special summons the other. So you can do this, that's the facing camera, and then you can droplet, get rid of these two, negate two of your opponent's things that can't respond with either of this, and then when the blue comes out, its effect activates. You can still
so you still essentially have full combo.
Absolutely busted. Comes up extremely often. Droplets.
Pretty spicy.
Droplets is extra strong in this deck, so I just wanted to point that out.
All right, cool. Well, hey man, thank you again for being here and showing me everything. And for those of you guys watching at home, thank you for watching. And make sure you hit that like button if you didn't already, and subscribe if you haven't already. We're trying to get to 1K by next year, and we're already broken 700 by now, so that's amazing. Thank you everybody in the community for hooking me up, and thank you John for being here, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.